Welcome to another episode of the Football Foodie. We're doing another Champions League review. We're going to be predicting who goes on to the next round. We're also going to be reviewing Cheetos, Bolitos, or Nados. I hope this isn't spicy. My stomach is still upset from the last time. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the Football Foodie. We'll time travel in a couple of seconds to see what I got right or wrong. Meanwhile, we're going to be starting to eat these Cheetos or Nados or Bolitas. I think it's Cheetos, Bolitas, or Nados. I don't know. Not that spicy. Tastes good. It's not like the North American cheap ones that just taste like plastic. I like these so far. They're pretty good. I'm going to be watching to see what I got right and what I got wrong in Champions League. And at the end of this video, you're going to see my full and honest review of these Cheetos, Bolitas, or Nados. It does have a little kick of spice, but I'm not going to be turning red or coughing in this episode. Alright, here in the future, enjoying my Cheetos Bolitas. Let's recap what I got right and what I got wrong. There's only one shocker that I got wrong. So let's recap what I got right. Brugge, Atletico Madrid. For the next leg, that's going to be in Madrid. I predict that Madrid is going to pull this one off. I thought this game would be closer, but Atletico Madrid, they ended up winning 4-1. Very impressive. They look ready for the next round of Champions League. Champions League is all they have going for them. So let's gonna go into Turkey, get hair transplants. Get a win, and unfortunately, they did not. The Galatasaray just outclassed them. If anyone could do it, it's probably Juventus, but I don't like their odds. I predict for this one, Galatasaray is going to win. I predict they're just gonna hold on with a 3-2 loss. I think it was a game of the week was Galatasaray versus Juve. This game had everything. It had a red card. It had extra time. It had a false hope for Juve. Juve almost pulled it off by the skin of their teeth, but unfortunately, they just didn't have enough left in their tank. Playing with 10 men and a controversial red card, they ended up losing 3-2. Galatasaray woke up in extra time, getting 2 goals for just a team that was already tired, doing their best. Unfortunately, Juve didn't have it to go on to the next round. Put your money on Real Madrid. Expect Real Madrid to go through to the next leg comfortably. Another score that I got right that everyone was anticipating about was Benfica versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid won comfortably at home. They were off to a little scare, but 16 minutes in, they erased a 1-goal deficit, and Real Madrid ended up winning 2-1. Vinicius did a little fun dance. Definitely the complete opposite of his experience in Lisboa. Los Blancos are off to the next round. Another match that I predicted right was Bodo versus Inter. I predicted Bodo would win by 2 goals. I predicted they would win 2-0 at home. Hey, they did win by 2 goals, but they scored 3. They had a nice, comfortable 3-1 win, and I'm not shocked. Playing in Norway is definitely something that a lot of teams don't like doing. Norway is definitely a colder climate for a lot of these European powerhouses, and good on Bodo for keeping this up, and hopefully their run could continue. They're playing in Milan. I still think that Bodo holds on by the skin of their teeth, fights it out, and I wouldn't be shocked if they lose this game, but I still think they would advance. I'm predicting a 1-0 or a 2-1 game for Inter Milan, but unfortunately it's not enough to get them on to the next round of the Champions League. Bodo versus Inter Milan. Now this is a game that everyone thought Inter would come back to win, but I call it here first, guys. Bodo, they're not a team to play around with. They definitely know how to play soccer. They're dark horses to win the whole entire tournament. They're dangerous. Do not sleep on Bodo, guys. Bodo went into Milan, and they actually walked away with a win. They won 2-1 against Inter Milan. Definitely not something that I'm shocked to see, but it's definitely a lot of people put their money on Inter. I always thought Bodo was going to advance. You could check my previous predictions. But I really think that Bodo is a sleeper to win this whole entire tournament. At least the semifinals. I could see Bodo easily going into the semifinals of this tournament. Another game that I predicted right, but I didn't think it would play out the way I thought, and it had me nervous for a while, was PSG versus Monaco. PSG ended up coming back, and they ended up winning 3-2. And yeah, PSG has their hands full. Monaco seems to be a more tougher opponent than they expected. They were losing 2-0, and they stormed back after Monaco got a red card to win 3-2. PSG is playing at home this leg, so hopefully they can just cruise comfortably and win, and we could see the defending champions on to the next round. But it's not going to be easy with Monaco. Now here's a game that was played really tough, and I didn't predict the score to be this accurate. It was PSG versus Monaco. I predicted PSG would go on to the next round, which they are. The defending champions definitely have a lot more in them. But Monaco made it really close at the end with a 98-minute goal to keep this game interesting. And they had a respectable draw, but unfortunately it wasn't enough for Monaco to go on to the next round of the Champions League. Atlanta versus Dortmund. This game was just all dominated by Dortmund. Dortmund came out with a 2-0 lead and held on and just shut down Atlanta completely. I thought Atlanta would put up a better fight, and unfortunately they did not. And I predicted it would be a 2-2 draw, and it didn't end up happening. Dortmund just ended up winning 2-0. At least I predicted Dortmund was going to score 2 goals. Next leg is in Atlanta. Let's see if Atlanta can score a few goals. It's going to be a tough task for them. I don't like Atlanta's odds, but I feel like it's going to be an interesting leg. I still expect Dortmund to pull through. Atlanta versus Dortmund. Now this one was a shocker. I did not think Atlanta had it in them to advance to the next round of Champions League, but they definitely did well at home. They ended up winning 4-1. This game was really tight. It was at 1.3-1, and it seemed to be heading into extra time. But the last kick of the game was a penalty shot for a red card in the box. Yeah, you can't put your feet that high in the box. It's going to get called nowadays. These referees, they're going to call everything. VAR definitely doesn't let anything slide. Atlanta definitely deserves to go on to the next round after that win. Let's see how far they could go in Champions League. All right, so now this is why you watch these videos. Let's give you a review on the Cheetos Bolitas. So like every single Mexican chip that I've reviewed here, there is no excessive Sadio Mane, unfortunately, in these chips. False advertisement, so these are going to be deducted points. The soccer ball-like features of it, of these Cheeto chips, definitely have to give them points for it though, so this will counter off like the false advertisement for Sadio Mane. So what do I rate these Cheetos Bolitas Horneados? I rate these 8 out of 10, and I'll tell you why. They don't taste artificial like the ones we eat in North America. They do have a little bit of a kick. They're not too spicy, even though the bag makes it seem like I'm eating the spiciest thing Cheetos has ever made. The Cheetos logo, yeah, he looks like a spicy guy in general, so I could get why the bag is going to be spicy looking. But out of all the spicy results today, the Cheetos isn't the spiciest one. Deserves the 8 out of 10. I definitely would eat these if I had access to them. Really good Cheetos. If you get your hands on Mexican Cheetos or Horneados Bolitas, definitely give it a shot. Thanks for watching the Football Foodie. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any food recommendations, leave a comment below. I'll definitely give it a shot, and I'll definitely give it a review. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.